space outside ourselves invades and ravishes things. If you want to achieve the existence of a tree, invest it with inner space. This space that has its being in you. Surround it with compulsions. It knows no bounds, and only really becomes a tree if it takes place in the heart of your renunciation.
When I enter the forest, I think about mindfulness, and it's a calming, enveloping feeling about being in the forest. And the sound of the water, and the sound of the wind in the trees, and the reflections on the leaves. And it's really calming.
As I entered the gorge, I felt relief, joy to see all the trees, and I felt a great relief and release.
This is absolutely beautiful. I didn't know this existed. I feel at the moment, I feel very drawn to forests. I remember thinking how lovely and peaceful and calm it made me feel, like a little oasis.
I've never been to Nidd Gorge before. It's been a really nice experience. I've heard of it, and I've heard of like all the wildlife that's down here. You go down the path, so you're fully immersed into like this cocoon. You feel a lot calmer, relaxed, but also excited.
Coming into the forest is just really peaceful. Whatever the weather is doing out in kind of general Knaresborough, it always feels a little bit different down in the gorge. So on like the really hot days, it's quite a comfortable temperature down here, so it feels kind of sheltered and general quiet feeling when you get down.
My favourite moment, the one that comes to mind straight away, is Pollock-style paintings, where we laid sheets of paper out on the ground and threw ink at them, because I love spontaneity.
Just remembered kind of being down here, doing the big paintings, big canvases. Really good fun, and just really interesting to see everyone's different approaches. John just chucking stuff, and then you got Carol at the other end doing tiny little precise lines. And I really enjoyed that one.
I think my favourite is just being with people and walking in nature. Outside, being by the water as well. It's such a beautiful river, which is quite dynamic at times. It's quite fast flowing, the prospect of seeing a lot of different wildlife, so all that is my favourite. Each walk has been a revelation. We've had some amazing people, really good at communicating their art to us. There's been sketching, which was amazing because I'm not good at sketching, but she made us realise that you can do this even without looking at the objects.
I kept my pencil moving and was kind of tuning into like the rhythms that the water seemed to be making to me.
You can have joy just from doing the activity.
The one that made me connect to Nidd Gorge the most was when Ania Bas came and all the writing.
Well, find somewhere where you're comfortable, and I'll be making sure I'll be coming to your way. Okay?
Activities like having an imaginary companion and thinking about how they would be in the forest.
Each of us had a person that had gone on a walk with us. Hopefully you had an idea, you had some ideas of what this person is saying.
I'm by Degas, you know. I need to do my hair. Going to wash it in the river and have it tinted by the earthy red of the fallen leaves. Then I will brush 50 times with the brushwood of the forest floor. Then I'm going to lay down by the river and drift away in a flight of fancy with the spirits of nature. I am an actor. I play many parts that attend to the feelings that we have towards our forest and the vicissitudes of life on earth. Monsieur Degas will vouch for me if you need to reference.
My own love of nature comes from this thing of listening to patterns and seeing patterns in things. In terms of sonic patterns, the most obvious one is birdsong. And when I started listening to birds, and this was like, say, around 14, 15, when I would be at school, and we had a huge London plane tree outside our classroom, and there was a blackbird that used to sit in it and sing. And I would constantly listen to that bird instead of my teacher. I always found that interesting because I found it calming. I'd actually be listening, tuned in into this bird song. And those patterns used to really make me feel calm.
The different artists we've worked with, I think, have been amazingly eye-opening. I've never thought of going into the forest and listening like we did with the microphones and things. That was amazing. I could hear different layers of birds singing and things going on. And somebody trod on a branch. It was not just a crack, it was like a gunshot. And I felt really part of it.
I've really enjoyed the mix of activities. It's felt quite varied, but along the same kind of theme of exploring. They've all been quite relaxed, calm activities, so focused on paying attention.
We've done some really beautiful walks alongside the river with various purposes in mind, experiencing the soundscape, experiencing the landscape and the gorge. I really like walks.
I love nature, I love walks, and I wanted to be with people. So this was ideal, and the fact that it was creative as well, it was a chance for me to explore that as well.
Because I love being outside, and I'd done a lot of research into how being outside can develop people creatively and make it easier for people to be creative. And if you look around, there's just inspiration everywhere. So it's the perfect place to do creative activities. And it's two sort of aspects that I really enjoy. It's like walking and being outside, and then also being creative.
Coming somewhere like this, it really makes you reflect on yourself and how you feel. And really, that is everything, because that's how you create your world. You either feel good, which is what this forest makes me feel good, or otherwise you can feel depressed, anxious, nervous. But if you can get in the good place and stay in the good place, you find that your world opens up into a good place. This has really come at a brilliant time in my journey. The universe said, right, now you're opening up a bit, have this next bit. And it's just been so lovely. And I felt really connected with the artist Singh. I really connected with him also, with the things that he was saying. He really made me stop and think about the vibrating tree that he was talking about. Everything has a vibration, and we are vibrating. So it's just which one you get in tune with.
Yeah, it's something different. It's something new that we've not done before. And I do really enjoy being outside and out in nature, especially through summer. It's nice to be out and around other people rather than being sat in a building.
Well, what I've learned most of all is my place in nature, my place in the wilderness. I feel gratefully isolated from the human world. It's really lovely to be in this environment.
As to what I have learnt through coming on the walks with Orb is how to look at nature. So being with the group has taught me to look further, to look at things in different ways, to listen, and I'm hoping I've learnt to be more creative from my creative side.
I feel I've learnt a lot from all of the projects we've done. I really enjoyed the foraging, so I feel like I've got a little bit of knowledge of things that we could eat, how to make cordial and sloe gin. Yeah, I've learnt loads.
I have learnt so much from each different artist that we've had down here. Could be has made me think in a different way, think of things that I would never have thought of. And it changes your way of thinking. It just makes me stop and think now before I do things and why I do things, and I feel awake, and it's just lovely.
It was interesting where Ania was down, and interesting seeing some of the kind of approaches and prompts that she uses for writing.
I'll invite you to calmly come up upstairs. We're going to make a little sculpture with our objects.
It was really fascinating to meet all the other artists, and I think it's massively beneficial to bring people into the groups, because some of the things that people do and their approaches, and especially the Jason's session, like how fascinating his kind of approach to kind of working with nature and plants and music and stuff was.
And I'll do that for hours. Now, while I'm doing that pattern, what will happen is that I'll also then, because I'm fixed in that mantra, in that rhythm, other doorways and other things open up. So that,
I think it's enlightening for us as kind of staff and practitioners and people that lead groups. I think it keeps us inspired and it keeps us interested, and it keeps it varied for us to see other people and different ways people are creative, and how that keeps us curious and engaged with what we're doing.
These sessions have been an opportunity just to remain still in one place and find what's there and feel what's there.
It's difficult for me to pick out one thing from all the things that I've talked about, all the activities that we've been introduced to. The most I hope to take out of it is to develop the way I look at nature, the way I feel about nature. It's helped me struggle with a lot of my complicated emotions, and it's allowed me to explore my emotions as well. That is extremely important, and I will take that away with me.
One aspect of this project that I would take away is the fact that it's really important for me to make time in a week to come out into nature and just spend time and not worry about anything else. I think that's really important, and I definitely want to make sure that I've got that every single week that I'm doing that, because it's been so beneficial to me, and how much better I feel afterwards.
I will take all of it, because it's like somebody opening your eyes. So it's like waking up. I feel awake, where before you just walk and look and it's lovely. But now I actually can see more things, I can see clearer, and it's just lovely.
The best advice I could give anyone is to wear stout footwear and some gaiters. Apart from that, to just forget all your preconceptions about the wild. It's a friendly place, it's full of life. Coming here you can feel safe, at home.
I would say give it a go. If you love nature, if you like being with people, but without any pressure, give it a go. And if you're not an outdoorsy person, again, give it a go, because you might get surprised by it, because it's holistic. It covers so many things, and you can still enjoy the fellowship of being with people and with nature.
It can feel like a big thing to go, oh well, I'm stuck in the woods all day with these people that I don't know, but I would just encourage them to come along and give it a go, really, because everybody's friendly and everyone's relaxed. So yeah, I'd just say come along, because I think everybody that's come along to all the sessions have got something positive out of it.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
It's been different every time we've come here, really, to observe the changes that take place as the season changes. It would be nice to keep coming here.
It's connected onto my journey brilliantly, because it's just what I needed. So this has been amazing part of my journey, and I've loved it.
I just think it's been a really positive group of sessions and really interesting, really engaging, really nice to be out in nature. So yeah, I think it's been really great as a project.
How much I've enjoyed the project and what a great idea it's been, and that I hope we do something similar in the future. And how much I love Nidd Gorge. I'll definitely be back.